This is Sue Jackson of the Book by Book blog, here with another Friday Reads. I don't know about you, but I am really enjoying my big book summer. This is an annual challenge I run every year. Is anyone else shocked to realize it's suddenly July? It just seems crazy to me. I'm not actually a big fan of the heat and humidity of summer, which have been extreme here this past week. But I do still have a stack of big books that I'd like to get through this summer. So I was surprised to see it's July already. Lots of other people are participating in the Big Book Summer Challenge, and you can too. People are participating through their blogs, on BookTube, and for those who aren't online in that way, just through Goodreads. So there are lots of ways to participate, and you're welcome to join the fun. So for this challenge, a big book is anything with 400 or more pages, so not that big. Although, you know, some people are reading 1,200 page chunksters this summer. And you set the goals for yourself. So you can read one big book this summer, 2 big books, or however many you want. As I said, I picked out a stack at the beginning of summer just to choose from all summer long that I'd love to get through, though I know I won't finish all of them. So I will include a link down below in the notes to my introductory video about Big Book Summer, and also to my blog where the sign-up page is. Oh, and one more thing. It lasts the whole summer. So you've got until early September, Labor Day in the US, to finish whatever your big book goals are. So it's a lot of fun, and I hope you'll join in. So last night, I finished my 3rd big book of the summer, The Lost Time Accidents by John Ray. Now, as I mentioned last week, this book is super weird, but a lot of fun. It blends science, history, and family drama into a time-twisting, very convoluted plot. But it's also very funny, and I really enjoyed it. Next, I went to my big book stack, and I was thinking about reading The Overstory by Richard Powers, which I do really want to read. It won the Pulitzer Prize. Barbara Kingsolver loved it, and she's one of my favorite authors, and lots of people have told me it's amazing. But I started it, and I read the back, and it sounds like another convoluted, thoughtful kind of book, and I just don't want to read another one of those right now. So it sounds a little too similar, certainly not in content, but in format to the one I just finished. Instead, I'm more in the mood for a straightforward A to B plot right now. So I chose historical fiction instead. So I have just started The Air You Breathe by Francis Dupont Peebles. So this was a 2018 release. I received it as a review option back then when I was reviewing for Shelf Awareness. What they did was send reviewers several books to choose from. This is a big book, so I did not choose it that month to review because I didn't have the time. But it definitely caught my eye and sounded interesting, so I set it aside. And you know how that goes. Those TBR shelves just keep filling up. It was on my stack for Big Book Summer 2020, so I am very glad I'm finally getting to it. So The Air You Breathe is historical fiction about the long-lasting and intense friendship between 2 women. It begins in Brazil in the 1930s, where 2 little girls from very different backgrounds meet. Graça is the little miss on a sugar plantation. She's been brought up in a very wealthy, pampered environment, and her family's just come to take over the plantation and run it. Also at the plantation is, I'm going to try to pronounce this the way the book said to, Doris. Looks like Doris in English, but they say that's how it's pronounced in Portuguese. So Dorish has been brought up on the plantation. She is a kitchen girl, and she's orphaned. And so even among the other servants, she's kind of considered like the lowest of them all. Both girls are 9 years old. Dorish has really never known love or affection. She's been brought up by the woman who heads the kitchen staff. She's never really known the freedom of childhood play. So Grasa comes to the plantation, and as the pampered little rich girl, she's very interested in Dorish and the way she looks different and acts different. And so she demands that she be her playmate. So her mother, the mistress of the plantation, agrees. And suddenly Dorish is out of the kitchen and running around all day playing with Grasa. So Dorish introduces Grasa to all these things she has never experienced. Climbing trees, running around the plantation, swimming in the creek, all kinds of basic childhood outdoor fun. And the two girls become fast friends very quickly. So that's all I've read so far, but it's already very engaging. I'm really interested to see what happens next. So that is The Air You Breathe by Frances Dupont Peebles. On audio, I have just finished my 4th big book of the summer. Yes, audios count as big books too. So do ebooks. This was a YA novel, All of This Is True, by, I learned how to pronounce this since last week. I said it wrong last week. Ligia de Peñaflor. This is a really unique and exciting book. I really enjoyed it. So the basic plot is that there's a group of teens who are completely obsessed by a particular novel and by its author. As teens and all of us are wont to do who love books. So this group of teens sees an opportunity to meet the author when she's in their town for a book signing. They go to the bookstore, they make sure they're last in line, so they're the last ones to talk to her, and basically their dreams come true. Because after the book signing, she invites them to come out with her to like a coffee shop type place. They go out together, they end up becoming friends. So these teens are like living their dream. They've become friends with a famous author who is, who they all look up to. But then the author writes a new novel, which is based on their lives and very thinly veiled. So where the book picks up, it's all looking at this in hindsight. And the media is saying that this author is this horrible person who used these young people, to come up with a plot for her next book. But some within the teen group still believe that the friendship was authentic, that she didn't mean them any harm. However, at the beginning that some horrible incident happened. So the way the novel is written and the way the audio is done is what makes it really unique. It's written as a series of television interviews, emails and text messages, journal entries, and even excerpts from this new novel. So there's a book within a book thing going on here. It's almost confusing because the novel is so close to their real lives, but it's pretty easy to keep track of. The great thing about the audio is that it's a full cast audio with 15 different narrators. So, it's a very immersive. I was engaged in it immediately. You just feel, it's almost like listening to a play because of these first-person recountings of what happened, along with the full cast. So that was All of This Is True by Lygia de Pinaflor. YA novel on audio, big book, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm not sure what I'm going to pick for my next audio big book. I need to take a look. I've got a huge backlog of audiobooks, so I need to take a look and decide what's next. So that's what I'm reading this week. What are you reading this weekend? Please tell me about it in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And remember to take a look at the Big Book Summer information, because it's a lot of fun, and it's fun to be a part of this group where everyone's encouraging each other and motivating each other. And finally, please like the video if you liked it, and be sure to subscribe to my channel.